first area and zone Alessandro is working on the cut is going to be through those front panels, where he's going to be really shaping the whole haircut through these shorter areas. He's going to be working with backward diagonal sections from the top into the bottom, and then working with a forward tension and elevation slightly away from the cheek, working with his fingertips pointing towards the ceiling on the right hand side of the head. He's then working slowly with a razor, which is creating a cutting line from longer into shorter towards the bottom, which will create a diagonal line from the top to the bottom, which replicates the shape of the section. The reason why he's using a razor is to create a very soft external shape, which will give off a really beautiful textured finish on this generally straight hair. After the first section has been completed and he's happy with the length and where it's sitting, he's then going to be working with a second section coming directly into where he's created the guide. Once you hit the guide, slide your finger slightly over the line and then work with the razor on the top of the hair and hit the guide that you've worked through on the previous section. As we reach the end of side number 2, everything should be looking the same in terms of length from side 1 to 2. Everything now is going to be looked at internally, where Alessandro is working with the razor like a pen, working with just the top of the blade and sliding down from the mid-lengths through to the ends to take away some of the internal weight from those panels. This is a great way to remove unwanted weight and reduce the density in a very quick and easy and effective way. Although this is a very visual technique and method that we're using with the razor, you do want to be very precise and systematic in the way that you're working with the sections and visually looking at the result as you're working through. You can now see that Alessandro is working on the last section behind the ear area, over directing back to his previous section, and very minimal is coming off the hair now. The most amount of hair that will come off will be through the center of the head, where the most densest and thickest part of the hair is, and everything after that there'll be gradually less and less coming off of each and every section that you work to behind the ear area. The way that he's going to do this is by creating that vertical profile guide through the center at the back, letting the hair sit naturally down in towards the back area that he's already cut to see visually where it would look good sitting naturally on the head, and then he's going to use that as a guide to be the shortest length at the bottom of the round shape. When you're doing this, you can do it in this way, where you're just visually looking at where the hair is sitting and cutting to natural fall. From there, you can start to work from the bottom of the shape, using that as your guide, and then starting to cut a rounder shape, working up the middle of the head through the top zone. Depending on what type of texture and result that you want to create, cut that line in with either the classic scissor or work with the points of the scissor to create more of a textured finish. Alessandro is going to be working with a combination of scooping techniques and point cutting to create as much texture through this hair as possible, so it sits really, really beautifully when he lets it down and styles it. Now the internal shape is finished through the top, Alessandro can focus his attention on that fringe panel that he's left out to the last. He wants to create a face framing shape that is not necessarily identical from side to side, hence why he's working with the razor to create that really deconstructed feel and look through the front, where we have that softness which matches through the cheekbone area. He's starting in the center and directing the razor to come back into the corner of the head, where he's working into the recession area, where the hair is generally being directed from the center out towards the corner of the face. Once the length has been cut in, Alessandro is going to be now applying the product into the hair, where you can see we're using the Aveda Confixor liquid gel. This is an amazing product to use if you want to have a lot of control in the hair, giving you a medium hold and definition for fine to medium density of hair. So because Alessandro wants to style this quite controlled and flat to the face for more of an editorial look, this is a really beautiful product to use. Alternatively, if you want a more softer finish with this product, you could also work with a brush or blow dry this into the hair, where it still gives you a nice hold but allows the hair to finish off a bit more natural and softer. We hope that you've enjoyed watching this short creative hair cutting tutorial done by global educator Alessandro Barca through our new collection shoot. We hope to see you on the next video.